I'm Terry Brock with terrybrock.com. I just read a great book that you have got to read. It's a book by my friend Jeffrey Hayzlett. He's a former CMO, Chief Marketing Officer at Kodak, and it's called Running the Gauntlet: Essential Business Lessons to Lead, Drive Change, and Grow Profits. Now, this is a great book, but if you're interested in a book where you're going to light a bunch of candles and kind of sing some cute little songs and hold hands with friends and just feel warm and cozy and ooey gooey, this ain't the book for you, okay? This is a book where you are going to get some solid business results-oriented kind of ideas that are going to really work. I love the book. Matter of fact, I've read it twice, and I really wanted to tell you about that and the kind of things he says. Now, Jeffrey is a guy who doesn't hold back. He lets you know where he's coming from. That's just his style, and it comes across in the writing. I love the way he does it, as Jim Eber kind of took that and put it together and made it work for him with that. And I think that it's really good. He sums it up at the beginning, and he says you got to get out there and you got to be tough in business today. You got to be strong. You got to know what you're doing. I like the way he says it, being the cowboy that he is from South Dakota with real cowboy boots. He says you got to cowboy up or go sit in the truck. And I think today it's like you got to go big or go home. It's the way that the world works today. Well, I was taking some notes on this when I was going through it and got a chance to read the PDF of this. It's a fabulous, fabulous book with a lot of good content. I want to share a few things with you here. And if I go up here to page 24 and look at what he had to say there on page 24, I really like the way he put it in chapter 3 when he says, "Fear stops most people. Change agents welcome it. Get past your fear. Act with confidence and be willing to be a beginner." He talks about the importance of getting out there and being the change agent. To do that, you've got to be willing to risk a little bit. You got to sometimes get knocked around, and sometimes you're not going to do as well as you'd like. But if you do that and persist through it, you will endure and you will succeed. You will get the changes made. That's the way it's going to be. Is it going to work every time? No. But you've got to go through it, and as you go through it, fear stopping you is going to be a bigger impediment to what you're doing than any other thing out there. Press past that and make it happen. Also, he talks about here up on page 102, when I look at what he talks about, the importance of living life the way that we need to, here in chapter 17. This is really good, coming from the cowboy that he is. Just because you killed a cow doesn't mean you're going to eat steak for dinner. There's lots of messy work to do, and none of it is easy. I like the way he said that and the way he went into it. Matter of fact, he did something that I thought was kind of interesting in there. He went into even some of the detail of what you've got to do if you're going to kill that cow and ultimately get steak for it. Now, if you're a vegetarian, just kind of hang in there and go for it on this one. Or if you're a little bit squeamish, persist through it because it's worth it. Because you realize there is a lot of stuff, a lot of, I think the technical term is yucky stuff that you got to go through. But once you do that and you press through that pain, then you're going to be able to have that nice, juicy steak dinner. And so that is if you like steaks. And I do. And you can use this kind of analogy in business to realize, okay, getting one thing is not going to do it. Too many salespeople I've seen, they get the call from the client, and the client's really interested in buying their product, and they're going, "Oh, goody, we've got it. It's great. Let's go out and buy that new car." And all they've had is a positive inquiry from a potential client. You got to press through. You got to do all the necessary work before you give up and before you say, "Okay, it's over and I can quit now." You got to keep moving forward. Also, another thing I want to share with you back here on page 91. Jeffrey had some very good points about, in chapter 15, change your tune and be pitch perfect. Hook me in 8 seconds, the lean-in factor. Sell me in 110 seconds. Close the deal. So what's your 118? He's become known for this. This is his branding. It's kind of like the elevator pitch that we hear about and everything, but I love the way he breaks it down there. Got to hook me in 8 seconds. If you don't get my attention, I'm out of there. I'm clicking on another website. I'm going to another YouTube video. I'm going somewhere else. I'm flipping the channel, etc. And then sell me in 110 seconds. Make it concise. Make it work. And he shows you some specific ways to do that. I mean, it's not just, oh, that sounds like a good theory. In this book, you get the motivation and you get the details and the specifics of how to do it. Now, I'm not going to share all that with you. You got to read the book, but you are going to really like it. There's a lot of good information there and a lot of good things that he talks about in that detail of how to put together your elevator pitch, your speech, so that you make it easy for the other person to say yes, and something that they're going to go, hey, we really want to work with this person. We want to make sure that we're getting good good information there, and it's doing exactly what we want, and it's doing the kind of things that we really need. And I think that as we do that, we're going to find out that it will really work. Here's another thing, very important, up on page 178. A real money analogy to leave you with, as toward the end of the book here. Casino owners and senior people who work for them know all their biggest customers, their whales, personally. They know the second the whales walk in the door, when they hit the floor, and at that moment, the owner or most senior person available is there, welcoming them, shaking hands, making sure their needs are met, and doing anything they can to make their experience more enjoyable. Casinos know with their whales, the money isn't just in the bets, it's in the one-to-one relationships. That's the key. In your business, find out who your whales are, the big spenders and the people that you need to depend on, and get with them and work with them. And then finally, he wraps up the book toward the end here, page 195, as we look at the kind of things that are there, what you got to do to strike gold and to make it work. I think that he says it very well when he talks about, in the end, change is not an end in itself. We look down here and we see it right here. It says, in the end, change is not an end in itself, but a chance to expand on success. Change offers a chance for businesses to see their markets and their customers in new ways, a chance to consider new strategies, investigate, and invest in new technologies, invent new ways of doing business, test things, and more. And that's what being a change agent is all about. When you read Running the Gauntlet, you're going to learn what change really means, what you've got to do, and how you can cowboy up so you don't have to go sit in the truck. It's a book I highly recommend from Jeffrey Hayzlett. I'm Terry Brock. Thank you very much for joining me.